Hi, and welcome to the third episode of Red True Diaries. Today is Memorial Day, Monday, May 25th, 2015. And I'm going to elaborate on why I chose the name Red True Diaries for this channel and this show. So I've gone into before, red has a lot of symbolism, but the play on words with Red True Diaries is a nod to the movie and spin-off series Red Shoe Diaries that used to be on HBO and Showtime. And I had touched on that in a previous episode, but I wanted to get into how that affected me as a teenager. So I used to HBO and Cinemax in the 90s. They used to show more adult content at night, and so I would wait until my mom went to bed and I'd turn down the volume and I'd put on different movies like Emmanuel Goes to Bangkok or wherever. She was one of the ones I followed the most. Those were hot. And then there were the real sex series. So anyway, in the Red Shoe Diaries, the movie was kind of tragic and sad. A woman who cheated on her husband and was conflicted, and the Red Shoe was and she ended up killing herself. And the husband or fiance, they never got married, invited people to send in diary entries or stories about conflict, betrayal, tough situations for him to help grieve. So anyway, it always stuck with me because they definitely cater to a female audience. Very, sensual and more erotic and beautiful and very interesting storylines too. So it fed that part of me that was obviously turned on at a young age. And so the play with Red True Diaries is there are many entries I have in journals I've had since, I don't know, 1987 or 88. Maybe actually, I think the oldest is 85 when I was 10 years old, somewhere around. Anyway, and I'm in my late 30s, so it's a lot. So I actually don't remember my first orgasm, and I started going through my old journals last night to look up some entries to see if I saw any that mentioned me having orgasms, and I came across the one from 1991. So, part of the show is sexuality, but and that's, like I say, I related to cycles and self-esteem and body image because that's so huge for women too. If we could get out of our heads and stop thinking of what we look like and get more into what we feel like, that would solve, I feel like, at least half to two-thirds of a lot of our blocks to enjoying pleasure and intimacy with ourselves as well as with other people. So I'm going to read two entries from one journal tonight and just stop there. That's going to be the show for today. It says a lot. So I'll tell you now before I begin. The second entry is I actually before both of us, I'd never even had my first kiss at this point. Honestly, I'd fooled around with a neighbor girl pretending we were boyfriend and girlfriend, but it wasn't, it wasn't the same. And I mean, it was felt good, but it wasn't the same as when I did finally have my first kiss. And actually, that was terrible. He was like a washing machine with his tongue going like, whoa. It was like, oh, I was like, wait, I hear someone, and I didn't. Just to stop, it was so bad. And I think, oh, no, you know what? Sorry, that was the second guy. The first guy was a guy from camp. That was a good kiss. That was great. So anyway, focus on the entries. Just know that I didn't have a lot of sexual experience. So I did read some of my mom's erotica books on top of seeing, shows here and there. Not often. I didn't get a chance to watch those erotic shows, often at all. Definitely not as much as I would have liked. But okay. Because you'll be surprised. Oh, and I went to a Christian school, so that's where you're going to hear me talking about virginity and religion, and what was another thing? Christian school, Lutheran, which is pretty, I don't know, dry, ritualistic, and not much like feeling the motivation, except when singing. In any case, okay. Wednesday, August 28th, 1991. I remember when I was 10 through 12, I wanted to have breasts so bad. I even put butter on them because I had read something that said that butter would make your chest grow. Around 10 and 11, I was just putting socks and tissues in the very few bras I had. I was so embarrassed to ask my mom to get me a bra that I used to leave her notes on her pocketbook in the mornings. Now, it seems I don't want these breasts. They're not that big, but bigger. I don't really mind because I don't consider my breasts to be large, but others do. I did have stretch marks on my breasts and hips about 2 weeks ago, and I hated them because I thought that they'd never go away. Tonight, I looked at my chest in the mirror, and they were gone. They're just about gone on my hips, too. My breasts look so much better without them. I hope they never come back, but I really doubt that. Darn. I guess this really proves that the grass is always greener. I've been meaning to write about this for so long, but there was always something else to fill the page up with. Virginity. By the way, I was 14. Is it really important? I've been trying to answer that question for the past 4 months. Sometimes I feel like it's not important at all. Just at least love the person. Then I keep thinking about my husband. I want him to be my first love and how precious a gift such as virginity is. If I am still a virgin when I get married, I want to go to the Virgin Islands for my honeymoon. I laugh hysterically. Like, that cracks me up, or did, especially when I read it, because I actually lived in the Virgin Islands for a year. And, talk about foreshadowing. How did I know this at 14? I didn't even know I knew about the Virgin Islands at 14. Anyway. Yes, so, and it is a popular place that people get married, which I'm pretty sure I did not know that then either. Maybe. In any case, all right. I went to go to the Virgin Islands for my honeymoon. It'd be perfect. I still can't believe that Tanisha isn't a virgin anymore. She was one of my best friends. And one of my church best friends. And she was, I think, a year older than me, maybe 15. Okay. It just seemed like she was going to be one until marriage, but I guess not. Now, if Maria Beth, such and such, loses her virginity before a marriage, I'll kill her. I wouldn't really, but I'd be totally shocked. I feel that virginity until marriage is no hope. I mean, a girl does get serious urges, and right now I'm only 14. How will I feel at 16 or 18 or 21 and still not married? I really don't know. I really don't know about this virgin thing at all. This is something I'll have to seriously think about on my own. Hopefully I'll come up with a good solution. People like Brett Henderson do not help. This, I'm telling you, man, nothing like the real thing. In terms of reading my own words, it still shocks the hell out of me, honestly. And I'd like to give some insight to people, especially with young daughters. You think that kids at 14 years old aren't feeling or thinking these things. They are. I did. I wrote them down, obviously, very honestly. And the next entry might be shocking. Because I can see it's getting almost to 10 minutes, I'm going to stop this and make this its own video, just in case some people are interested in this entry, because to me it's that powerful. It was really enlightening and mind-blowing to me. I know I keep saying that, but hey, that's it. How to live an orgasmic life. That's what it's all about, blowing our minds. So I'm going to stop this and then read this next entry. And I'll probably just stop with that. So this will be the wrap up for this episode. Thank you for watching, and more to come. I love you.